Maverick, $26,913. 25 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4, $33,411. 24 Ford Expedition XLT, $61,800. Ray Varner Ford, local you trust with deals you can count on.
Now you have sound. At least I heard that sooner than later. Lee, I put up the camel just for you. There we go. Now you have sound. All right. So you missed the whole part, but my camera died. So now I'm using my cell phone for a camera. Cheers to you. Gremlins are back. All right. Let's get to work with the forecast, shall we? I want to start you off with a cool live view in downtown Clinton. We got a little bit of haze and fog off in the distance, but a few mid-level clouds hanging out with us this morning. We do have a little bit of a nuance or a little bit of a change anyways to the forecast, by the way, here as we get into the upcoming weekend. So make sure you check, stay tuned for that because it does look like Saturday is probably going to give us some showers and thunderstorms. All right, let's talk about the almanac from yesterday. I always like to talk about it in the morning hours. And where did I stand yesterday? Yesterday I was forecasting 82. We made it to 82 yesterday. 76 in Crossville, 75 Chattanooga, and Tri-Cities right there at 82 degrees. All right, we've got a frontal boundary just off to our north. Now, this cold front's going to stay to our north. It's going to be lifting back to the north across Kentucky and southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. And that's where the majority of the storms will fire up along the leading edge or along that frontal boundary. But there's another low-pressure system forming to our west and southwest, and that will start to pick things up here as we head through the next couple of days. I think today and tomorrow, just a few spotty showers and thunderstorms, but an uptick Friday and likely again on Saturday. So not much activity going on out there early this morning. Got a few clouds hanging out with us, and that's the story. So let's take you right to our futurecast, picking up on the timeline this morning. Well, we're not really seeing the rainfall out there this morning, but we are going to see some clearing. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. By lunchtime, probably not a lot of activity, but you'll start to see those cumulus clouds beginning to build and bubble up. And so as we get into the lunch hour from noon to 3, can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms. Notice the location of those storms, basically riding along the Cumberland Plateau and the Smoky Mountains. I think that's the general rule of thumb. Now, folks joining us from Anderson County, Roane, Morgan, Scott, Fentress, Campbell County, say Union and Claiborne County, you all have a chance for seeing some showers and thunderstorms today, kind of depending on where these storms initiate, because they are going to work their way to the north and northeast. Smoky Mountains, same with you. If you're going to be up at the Smoky Mountain National Park, something to kind of keep in mind. Some of those showers and thunderstorms may drift their way into Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and Wares Valley and Townsend, and maybe even Newport and Greenville before things kind of wrap up here through the evening hours. But this really tells the story. The valley is likely to stay on the dry side, the plateau and the mountains, the higher terrain, because we don't really have a lifting mechanism. Our lifting mechanism today is going to be the heat of the day and the terrain. Realize that higher terrain gets the sunshine first. That's where we start to get the heating, albeit maybe minimal. We start to get some heating. And so higher elevations always get, and when we don't have a lifting mechanism, and we're talking about orographic lift, the higher elevations being the orographic, the terrain gives us the chance for the showers and thunderstorms. So that's going to be the general rule of thumb for the day today. Temperatures this morning started off in the low to mid 60s, a couple pockets of upper 50s here or there, but we're trending warmer than yesterday. Anywhere from about, say 5 to about 13 degrees warmer now in the Tri-Cities area. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Laura. How are you this morning? All right. So by lunchtime, we're going to see those temperatures in the upper 70s, forecast highs low to mid 80s. So it is going to be warmer today than the 82 that we had yesterday by about a couple of degrees. I'm going 84, and I have not changed that temperature for a couple of days. So I think we're going to be holding strong right about there. Rain chances start to uptick a little bit. Spotty showers and thunderstorms today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Not a huge cover, not a lot of coverage of rainfall, but tomorrow we do have a risk for severe storms. And then as we get into Friday and Saturday, notice I've bumped up that chance of rain on Saturday to a 40%. There is some discrepancy still. The GFS American model has the storms basically exiting around sunrise and moving on out. But the European model actually has the storms sticking around for a good chunk of the day on Saturday. So with that said, as we get into a little bit more of our high resolution modeling, we'll start to get a better idea and a little bit more refined details on how Saturday is going to play out. But right now, I know earlier this week, I was like, hey, listen, looks like it's going to be a great weekend on Monday. Yesterday, I said, wait a second here. Models are hinting at the fact that these storms may be lingering into Saturday, so check back in. I've bumped up now Saturday's percentages, so you'll need to check back in again tomorrow to make sure and see how your weekend is playing out, because then we'll start to get some medium range and some high-resolution modeling going on. All right, let me take you to the big picture. We'll pick up our timeline at 6 o'clock here tonight because I've already shown you today's forecast. And as we run you through time, notice the big storm is going to be across the Great Plains. Could have a couple of showers overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but could have some wet roads early tomorrow morning. And then a few spotty showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night into Friday morning. You see a weakening system moving its way out of Middle Tennessee, and that's going to produce some showers and thunderstorms through the overnight hours Thursday into Friday. Friday, we'll start to see those that cold front approach the area, and that's going to increase the coverage and chance and opportunity or threat for showers and thunderstorms. Not really a threat because we're not necessarily talking about severe weather. I think if we see some severe storms, it's probably going to be through the day tomorrow. And then that low pressure system to our south and west in the bottom left-hand side of the screen will start to enter the area late Friday, and that's the storm that may be lingering on into Saturday. So this kind of tells a story as well. Notice the rain chances across Kentucky and west of the Mississippi River Valley today and tomorrow. A couple pop-up showers and thunderstorms again. Not a ton of activity all the way through Friday morning, but as we head through Sunday morning, there we go. So again, Friday into Saturday, we probably have our best opportunity for rain. I'm going to call it a threat as of right now, just because it's the weekend. Nobody wants rain on a Saturday. But Sunday is going to transition to a beautiful day. Now, rainfall amounts from now through basically Saturday are going to be anywhere from about a quarter, 3/4 to an inch of rain. So we'll cut it in the middle, and we'll say, generally speaking, I think most areas will say about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. 84 today, 83 tomorrow. So warm summer-like weather on the way. That is well above average by nearly 10 degrees. Then we'll be in the upper 70s on Friday. Numerous storms possible. And then I think scattered showers and thunderstorms now on Saturday. No severe weather threat. Temperatures come on down, so probably not a lot of thunderstorm necessarily activity on Saturday, maybe just more rain. And then pleasant weather by Sunday with warming temperatures as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Hey, by the way, happy last day of April. Where is this year going? It is literally May 1st tomorrow. Just mind blowing. My kid even said that. He goes, how is it already the end of April? I said, right? I'm with you on that one. A terrible loss last night at my kid's baseball game. They were ahead most of the game, and then the other team just had like a 5-run inning to take the lead, and we just couldn't come back. I think the final score was 7-11, 8-11, I think it was. Unfortunate for the young Yankees. But that's okay. They did great. They were playing amazing. So it was a lot of fun to watch some baseball. It was definitely a warm one. If you were in the direct sunlight, maybe you got a nice little suntan or a nice little sunburn, I suppose, if you will. So again, just keep an eye on Saturday. Saturday is literally, I'm going to say like it's a 50-50 chance right now for seeing some rainfall. I know that sounds weird, but just due to the fact that one model doesn't really have a lot of rain throughout the day and another one does, make sure you check back in if you have to hit the road and head off to work here this morning. Nothing going on the interstate system here at this hour, but it is Wednesday. Shall we? Let's say good morning to Ed.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
Yes, Debbie, you can finally take your shower. It's been a week, my friend. It has been a week. Maybe some of you ladies don't wash your hair but once a week. All right, I got to give a big shout out. Did you see my photos on social media yesterday? We had a chance. I had the opportunity. I was asked to head over to Granger County High School. They've got a big fair. I think it was called the WOW Fair. But anyways, it was a career fair for for 7th to 12th graders. 7th to 12th graders. And so they took turns. And I mean, we had helicopters, we had all industries hanging out with us. And it was so much fun. And I had a really cool setup. I don't know if you saw my setup on social media, but I just wanted to share some photos with you. Here's some of the kiddos from Granger County. There's some of the other kids. So we took listen, when people ask me to take pictures with me, I said, yeah, absolutely. Can I take a picture with you? So there we go. That's kind of a part of my setup. So you can see them on the green screen there. I had my computer system set up. So I had a green screen, and it was a lot of fun to share that with a bunch of the kids. This is going to be the new principal, by the way, next year for Granger County High School. Oh, shoot. He's an elementary school principal right now. I can't remember. I want to say Blaine. Blaine's probably not right. Maybe Rutledge. Anyways, a big shout out to the new principal coming up next year for Granger County High School. I told him, listen, if you need anything, let me know. I will help you out. And some other great kids enjoying the green screen. It was a lot of fun, and it was great to talk to some of the kids. Some of the kids were really interested in meteorology. They're like, how do I get started? Do you want to do TV? Do you want to do National Weather Service? So we had good discussions about that. And that is literally what the entire day was about. It was about learning different industries and trying to figure out, what do I want to do when I grow up? Isn't that the most tough choice? I will tell you a little bit of history about me for just a moment. So my original goal was to be a high school science teacher. That's like, I literally just wanted to be a high school science teacher. I love science, and I love people, and I love kids, and I love just kind of teaching. I love teaching people things, especially about things I know, of course. That seems to make sense. So I wanted to be a high school science teacher. Then I got into aviation, and I asked a couple of friends' parents who were aviators, professional pilots, and I said, hey, how do I do this? They said, join the Air Force or buy your own airplane. Well, I'm 17 years old. I'm like, I'm not going to buy an airplane, and I'm not, thank you for your service, but I'm not a serviceman myself. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that's off the table. But then I was taking a high school class called interpersonal communication or something like that. Anyways, we learned how to shoot, write, and edit basically news stuff. And so we got to learn how to really do all that stuff. And that's what I got interested in. And then we had some broadcasters from 9 News in Denver, I think from all the TV stations. But anyways, from the TV stations in Denver, they came to my school and they chatted to us about the TV industry. And I really liked the aspect of getting creative, being out and about. I never really wanted a desk job. That wasn't really my style. So being a TV photographer or a reporter, I was like, okay, this sounds like fun. So then, and I tell you this story because I was talking to the kids yesterday saying, and even some of the teachers and principals were talking, saying, listen, you may choose something now, but that may change as you continue down your career path. And even if you get into the career that you went to college for, sometimes that changes as well, i.e. it changed for me. I got my first TV job in Grand Junction, Colorado as a TV photographer. Got my foot in the door as a photographer. Wanted to be a reporter, went to school to be a reporter, and even took a meteorology class my sophomore year in college because my roommate was like, I think you'll like it, get in the TV industry, do weather. Didn't like it because I was just so laser focused on being a reporter. Hence, that's why I got a political science minor, which I'm not even a political guy, but somebody said if you're going to be a reporter, you have to have some political science background. It will help you out. So I did that. One of the hardest courses I've ever taken. Kalichi Kalu was my college professor. Man, I tell you what, I was in his office like every day going, A, I can't even understand you. B, I have no idea what all this is. So anyways, long story short, I got into TV as a photographer, started reporting, didn't really like reporting, wanted to be a photographer, and I got the opportunity to do weather. One of the promises I made myself was I'd never go back to college after I graduated college the first time. Well, lo and behold, like 6 months later, I was back in college because I figured out that I liked meteorology, but I didn't know anything about it. And how could I be on TV telling people about TV meteorology or about meteorology and weather if I don't even know why the clouds are out there myself? Why is it raining? Why is it snowing? It doesn't make sense to me. Well, the way to make things make sense is to learn about it and to go back to school. So that's what I did. And here I am 25 years later. Actually, this month, the month of May, is going to be my 25 years of doing TV. And then I think it's like June or July would be 25 years of doing TV weather. Pretty crazy stuff, but I wanted to share this too. They gave me a big, awesome t-shirt. Isn't that cool? Cool t-shirt that they gave me. Granger County Schools. Let's see, where is it? Let's see if I can get that up there. There we go. Big shout out to Granger County Schools. Thanks for having me out. Amanda Johnson, thank you so much for your patience. I do appreciate you and asking East Tennessee Weather to come out to Granger County. All right, let's get to work with the national holidays for the day today. Got a nice little sunrise taking shape here this morning, so we'll take you back down to Monroe County. We'll take you to Madisonville, Monroe County Airport. And again, a mix of clouds here this morning. Should start to see the sun peek through just a little bit, but do anticipate a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day and a chance for a couple of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Of course, we're celebrating birthdays and events. Anybody have a birthday today? Throw that in the chat. We want to hear about it so we can celebrate you. All right, today is National Stop Food Waste Day. I'm going to give a big shout out to that. That is awesome. There is so much food waste in our country. It is mind-blowing to me. But if you can try to stop food waste, that's great. You know, one thing that we try to do, I feel, I'm going to use my I feel words this morning. I feel that when you buy like a week's worth of food, it ends up going bad. I've got a friend who actually goes to the grocery store every single day that they cook dinner. They only go to the grocery store and buy the food that they need for that day. We had a conversation. He said, listen, I used to buy for the whole week. But he said, we ended up wasting so much food. The lettuce gets back in the back. You buy a bag of salad. You forget about it. All of a sudden, the salad is bad, right? You buy apples from Costco, for crying out loud, and you've got apples that are going bad because you can't get through them all. So much food waste. And listen, if you have a lot of food waste and you garden, maybe a good idea to do some composting. There's this one trash can that I really want. That's a heated trash can, and you put all your food waste in there, and it heats it up. And over 2 weeks, all that food waste that you put in, 2 weeks later, you end up with dirt, some nice solid compost. I was like, that is a cool thing, and then you can add it to your garden. Anyways, try to stop food waste if you possibly can. I know we've got an abundance of food in our country, and we are thankful for that. Right? A lot of other countries come to our grocery stores and say, well, this is like a museum around here. I think Gorbachev said that back in the day, like in the 80s when he came to America to talk to Reagan, I think it was. I remember him saying a quote of like, your grocery stores look like museums. And they do. All right, it's National Bubble Tea Day. Anybody like bubble tea? I think it's disgusting. But the weird thing is I love tapioca pudding, and texture is half of our food. That's probably 90% of what we eat, right? Is the texture of something. But bubble tea is just not for me. Let's see. I told Mom's nurse about you in the app last night. She grew up watching you. Yay. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate that. I did get maybe 30 new downloads yesterday. That was great from a lot of teachers and stuff like that who didn't have the app. That was awesome. I passed your house on the way. Are you on Rutledge Pike? I used to buy 3 days of groceries to cut down on waste. That's a good deal. I just think it's crazy. All right, it's National Preparathon Day. See if I can get the words out. Preparathon Day. National Preparathon Day. What is that? I'm guessing students and whatever. Reminds us that the crisis happens suddenly. Be prepared needs to happen now, not later. That's right. Okay. Natural disasters. This is great. Natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, wildfires, or severe weather require us to make decisions with little or no warning. Do you have an emergency plan in place for your family, for work, in case any sort of emergency pops up? This is a good thing to talk about. When I go talk to kids, I always talk to them about an emergency kit. What do we need for severe weather? If tornadoes or severe weather moves in, and you got to go to the basement or the closet or interior bathroom. What do you take with you? So we have that discussion. Of course, bottled water, canned foods or non-perishable foods, I should say. Blankets, helmets, chargers, whatnot. All those things, right? Now, do you have that box ready to go? Do you have an emergency kit ready to go? Are you prepared? And I would say most people are probably not. But some are definitely prepared. But, the discussion goes on with the kids to say, okay, great. Now we've got all these things in our box. Now take that box, design it, put it into your closet, so you are now responsible for the family, right? Give your kids some responsibility in the family. And something as simple as an emergency kit, it creates a fun project for the weekend. Let's put together an emergency kit. You can use a cardboard box, just color it and make it fun, or go buy a nice box if you want. But you got to be prepared for any sort of situation. And then I tell the kids, would you be able to find all these things in your house within 5 to 10 minutes? Well, yeah, I could do that. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. Trust me. I'm an adult and I can't even find that stuff in my house. All right. It's also last National Military Brats Day. Any military brats out there? Big shout out to you this morning. National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. Yay. A couple of our dogs over the years have been sheltered pets, or sheltered dogs anyways. It's National Sarcoidosis Day. Sarcoidosis Day. I don't even know what that word is. I should not. This is why I'm not a news anchor. I could never read half the words that they read on TV. National Day on April 30th annually raises awareness about a non-contagious immune system disease. While most commonly found in the lungs, sarcoidosis, maybe that is an inflammatory disease that can affect any part of the body, inside or out. It's National Raisin Day, which coincides perfectly with National Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Day. We're just going to call that National. Do you like raisins? Maybe, some yogurt-covered raisins. Those are always good. Oatmeal cookies are literally hands down one of my favorites, although it's got to have a little extra cinnamon and extra raisins. National Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Day is what I'm going to call that one. Big shout out to that. Love oatmeal raisin cookies. National Hairstylist Appreciation Day. Big shout out to Heather and my hairstylist. It is National Hairstylist Appreciation Day. If you have a hairstylist that you go to bi-weekly, monthly, every 3 months, whatever it may be, and you've been going to them for a long time, maybe give them a little extra tip today, or take them a nice little package or a bottle of water or something. Getting haircuts is, I hate haircuts. I absolutely despise getting haircuts. There's a whole story to that I won't get into this morning, but I do love my hairstylist now. So big shout out to Heather this morning. All right, National Bugs Bunny Day. Yes, I love Bugs Bunny. And he's got his own little star of fame, does he? National Honesty Day. Oh, this is a good one. Are you honest? Do you have something to come clean about? Do you have white lies that you shouldn't be doing? Well, I think we all kind of do the white lies every once in a while, but maybe you've got something on your chest. You've been wanting to get out, but you just couldn't. Maybe today's the day that you do it. Honesty is best, isn't it? It sure is, my friends. That's all we have for national holidays for the day today. We'll take you back outside. Let's show you downtown Gatlinburg, shall we? Here's a live look in downtown Gatlinburg. Katrina, you've never heard of bubble tea? It's like the new rave around town. It's like that they had like bubble tea. I thought it was Bubba tea, not bubble tea, but bubble tea, whatever you want to call it. I feel like there's these shops that pop up all around town. My kids absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm not a fan either. It's the texture thing. I don't want these little bubble things coming into my mouth. Good morning, Alex. How are you this morning? Yum, Cocoa Wow Bubba. Yum. I've never heard of bubble tea. Well, oatmeal raisin cookies. There we go. You like raisins? Perfect. Alex says, oh my God, I love oatmeal raisin cookies. They're my favorite. They're my favorite too. They're so good. I could just mow them down. And who cannot love Bugs Bunny? Yeah, well, we all do. Cheers to you, Alex. All right, my friend. Well, it is Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is the last day of the month. I cannot believe that tomorrow is May 1st. It's my birthday month. My birthday doesn't come until the last day of the month, though. Memorial Day weekend, car sales, all the sales. It's been the story of my life. It has. But it's going to be a gorgeous day. Watch out for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the Cumberland Plateau, the Smoky Mountains today. Pop-up showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. And then a little bit better coverage of rainfall Friday. And unfortunately, it does look like rain showers are going to be with us at least for the first part of our Saturday. At least for the first part. Severe weather may pop up tomorrow afternoon as well with any of those strong thunderstorms that may fire off. So we'll keep you posted on that. Of course, make sure you scan the QR code right there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. Stay on top of the weather every single day. And East Tennessee Weather is the only way, in my personal and professional opinion. Have a great day, my friends. Be safe, be kind to each other. I'll see you back here tomorrow, bright and early, for Wake Up with Witcher. Life is short.